What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the vlog. I hope you like this patio install. It looks freaking awesome. I'm really digging it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Now we're on to the deck. We got a lot of stuff going on here. We have a lot of the deck boards down. We've covered a lot of that already, so I'm gonna focus on some of the details on this one, how we're gonna finish it off, because we got some pretty cool stuff planned, so stay tuned. Scooter's working on finishing up these last couple deck boards here. You can see we only have a few left. This deck is all decked out. Pat's getting ready to stain. How you making out? Sweet. So we got a couple of these left. This is Deckorators Costa, and you can see here we have the Kaya trim. We also have a Kaya border. It's one of my favorite combinations. I really love these two browns together. So we're gonna get these last couple boards installed, and then we have some trim details that I wanna show you that are gonna be new and very unique and very excellent. All right, so we have our nice trim detail here. It's unfortunately just a little bit too big to caulk, which we were gonna do. Matching color, of course. I'm just kidding, obviously. What we did here was run those boards long. Now we're gonna take the track saw, show them what we got going on. We got two 45s there. Look at that. We're gonna sand this down. That's gonna be like, I don't know. It's gonna be really nice though.
It's gonna be sharp.
It's gonna be sharp. And that is gonna basically be like a corner post on this edge. And we're gonna take the track saw, we're gonna make our mark, we're gonna cut straight down here, so this will be flush with the trim, and it's just gonna give it a really nice finished look. You can see we have these rips, miters down. We're putting them right next to each other. We're gonna get it tight, and it's gonna put some tape on there. So that's gonna hold our seam in place as we put adhesive on it, and then we fold that baby boy. Okay, got it assembled there, so you can see, just like a door hinge. Nice little bead. And there we go, now we got a nice, oh, look at that, oozing out the back. That's what we want, that's what we want to see. Now, we're gonna keep tension on it with that tape. Nicely tensioned. Look at that. That's beautiful. We'll let that set up, then we'll take the tape off and we'll put some screws into the side with some plugs. It'll be good to go. We actually set the saw at 45.5 degrees so that this outside miter is gonna stay tight, and there's a little bit of room in the back so that this doesn't need to be tight. We just don't want it to get held up here and be open in the front. So this is what's important. So just cut it a little tiny bit extra so you can get that nice tight seam up front. And in a couple minutes, we'll take that tape off and see if that worked. See, we just took the tape off. Look at that nice, beautiful corner. Just take a little something, maybe some sandpaper, and just kind of fold over these edges the tiniest bit so they're not sharp. But look at that. Got all three of these corner posts ready to go, and I'll show you how we're getting them installed. Now we have the track set up with clamp, and we're gonna cut this nice and straight, and then our corner will just go right on there, and it'll be nice and flush with our fascia boards. This track saw is freaking amazing.
Money.
Money. Look at that. Nice and straight. Now our corner trim can just go right on top of here, nice and flush, just how we like it. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Look at that seam. Looks beautiful, perfect, fit the first time, no issues here.
There's issues.
Uh-oh, we gotta cut it again a little bit. It's a little bit too tight there, but that's okay. Can always cut it too long, because then you can cut it again, because that board stretcher hasn't come in yet. We now have this board in. A little bit of a shorter cut on this, but it fits in really nicely now. This side, we don't have the boards up yet, because we're getting an outlet installed over there. So we are gonna butt them into the side of this right here. But you can see on this side, look how nice that looks. Just a really cool detail. These will obviously all get plugged, so you won't see any of those. I freaking love this Deckorators Kaya color.
As you can see, our subjects for the day are busy at work. They are installing a rooftop structure to keep them safe from predators, so they could mate and gather food.
Hey Sean, what's going on?
We got the pergola purlins going in. That's what a lot of people call them. These are 2x4s ripped in half that we pre-stained, and these are spaced, what do we got these spaced at?
4 inches.
4 inches on center, 6 inches on center, 5.5 inches on center, 4-inch gap. So we cut these slide right in between so we can make sure we are maintaining proper spacing. Lock it in for justice. This tight spacing like this, it's a little bit more work staining all of these because these can be a pain, but it's gonna provide a lot more shade. And we've also engineered this thing so that if they want, they can put a polycarbonate roof shade on it, and that'll keep it waterproof. So that's always an option down the line. We've built it to withstand snow loads and all that kind of stuff. But putting these close together looks cool, and it's gonna provide some very nice shade. Pergola is all wrapped up, and now we are on to some of the finishing details, and one of those things is the privacy walls. So I'm gonna show you how we do those. I get a ton of questions about privacy walls, so you can see we're starting it right now, and I'll show you how we do it, both sides, make it look nice and finished. So you can see we got the last board going down here on the bottom, and we're about to start the front of this. So all we have 6x6 posts here, and then what we have is a 3-inch frame. So we rip a 2x4 down to 3 inches. That gives us enough room for board on the back, board on the front, and a tiny bit of a reveal. We're gonna start on this front side. We just have a consistent 3/16 gap all the way down. It's gonna look nice and finished. Other side of the privacy wall is going in very nicely here. You can see we have the camo system. We're putting hidden fasteners into the board like that. Biggest secret here, cut your top board about a 1/2 inch shorter on this side, on one of the sides, doesn't matter, but that's gonna stagger our seams, and now it looks like a solid wall. But you still have these nice lines in here which give it another dimension. See, we got this piece of trim going on the edges here. So we didn't have to make a perfect cut here. You can see it's a little bit staggered, but we can put this piece of trim over it. Just like so. Wherever possible, we like to cut it so that those ends can be covered with a piece of trim, and it doesn't really detract from the look. If anything, it adds a little bit of a nice touch to it. We're on to the very last steps here. We're putting in some sod. You can see we already got our plants in, so Pat's jamming out. We are jamming out on this project. Got a little bit of sod to patch in, so we're getting that in, and then we'll do a final walkthrough and some drone shots, baby.
Probably gonna get demonetized.
Boys are mulching. Say hi, Pat.
Hi, Pat.
Oh, classic. We got sod patched in here. We're gonna do a little bit of grass seed along this edge. Josh is mulching. And me and Ant are hanging these string lights here. So you can see we have these hooks right there. Here are our string lights, heavy duty, nice string lights. Now we have 5 hooks. We're gonna start there, back to here, over to here, over to there, over to there, and then we can tuck the extension cord down behind the gutter and plug in to an outlet. And that outlet we have wired up to a switch inside, so you can control those cafe lights with the switch inside, which is really nice because those are very bright. You don't want to leave them on all the time, and this way they go to let the dog out, they just want to come out here for a couple minutes, flip that light on, good to go. We'll show you how we're hanging them. Ant's deep in thought. So you can see we have these nice hooks. They're black for outdoors, and you can see we got our first strand here strung up. Just use a zip tie on these bad boys. Now we can go the other way, and look at this. Uh-oh, we're at the end of our rope, at the end of our string. I'll show you what we do to connect these, because you don't want to just plug them together, because then you go pull it tight, or the wind blows, or somebody hits it, and they come apart, and you break a bunch of bulbs. Trust me, I know that because I've done it many times at my own house until I found this product, which, oh, Pat got them. Thanks, Pat.
Thank you. Can I have my knife back, please?
So we got these things. They're called cord safe. At the plug between the 2 strands, you put this over top of it, and it keeps it from pulling apart. So it's a nice little cool thing. Get them on Amazon, maybe $5 or something, but they do a great job. So here we go with the cord safe. You can see this is where 2 of them plug together. And that just goes over top. Clip that sucker in. And then push it together as much as you can. Is that it?
That's it.
That's it. Now try to pull it apart.
Nothing.
Beautiful.
I'm strong.
And it's super strong. This was Joe Flacco's backup. Guy's got a rocket for an arm. Anyway, that's gonna keep it nice and tight together so that we can put some good tension on this so that they don't sag too low and those wires are not gonna come apart. Check it out. Last step, screwing in the bulbs. And you can see we've got the wire tucked behind the gutter and behind that corner post. And then there's our outlet. And like I said, we have that outlet wired up to a switch inside. So hopefully when we get these all in, we flip that switch, these turn on. Let's hope so. Just like that, we are finished with this project. So give them a little pen. It's looking freaking awesome. So let me walk you through some of the details that I like the best here. First stop, Techo Bloc paver patio. We've got the blue 6x13 in Champlain gray and the Squadra in shale gray. Come on, pan. Said it a million times, thing I like about these pavers, they're modular. So 8 of the Squadra equals 1 of the blue 6x13, and they have quite a few different products that all work together like that. So you can really come up with some crazy designs and you don't have to do a lot of cutting. It just goes together seamlessly, so I really love that. Here we have
Mega hot tub.
Pat, isn't this thing huge? Yeah, it's huge. This is kind of the centerpiece of the patio. We designed it around this to have a little seating area here. Also build in some privacy to it. So this cover flips up, so that gives you privacy from the back. We didn't want it to feel too enclosed, so we just did a privacy wall here, privacy wall there, and you can see we've got uplighting on here. Gives it a super cool effect at night, so got a lot of lighting in here. As we walk up the deck, you can see we've got 9 lights here. One of my favorite details on this whole project is very, very simple, but it took a little bit of planning to achieve it, is to have this second step, the riser continues, and then this next step just wraps around. So we did a little bit of a return detail here. We've got this step extending beyond. You can see we've got 1 extra light down there. Awesome. We've also got lighting out here on the pergola. The pergola is really a center point of this whole project, and it's a really cool like architectural detail on this. So we've got 3 uplights on each of these posts, so at night it really like illuminates the shape and gives it that nice vertical element, which looks awesome. Let me take you onto the deck here. We've got this 2-tiered deck going on, and we've got Deckorators Costa and Kaya. Look good, Pat? Sweet. We've also, on this project, a lot of times we don't do miters just because expansion and contraction, but I get people saying it all the time, why didn't you do miters? Deckorators Voyage Eovations is the most stable deck board on the market, so we are confident doing it. So we did miters on the steps here. We know how to do them, okay? So that'll put the haters in check. Won't it, Pat? Probably not. Another super cool detail that we did for the first time on this project was we have it stepping down here so that we could clear the window. We didn't want to cover that, but that leaves the concrete foundation exposed. Show them what it looks like over there. So we decided to have this trim carry right onto this concrete wall, and we built this little box trim detail around the window, which looks pretty awesome. Here we have the main deck area. This is going to be the eating area, and you can see how cool this looks with the pergola. We spaced those 2x2s really nice and close together, so it's going to provide some good shade. We also put a slight pitch on it, so if they want to add one of those polycarbonate roof covers, they can do that and turn this into a waterproof space. You can see the design on this pergola is super simple. It's not like a crazy complicated design, but that's really my style. Nice and simple and clean. And one of the things that we did, you can see we have 2x10 ledger, doubled 2x10 beam, 2x10s on both sides, but all 7 of these interior rafters are 2x8s. So we can put a 2x2 on top and it ties in flush with the edge of this rafter. Show them that. So it looks nice and clean, and from the outside you don't see the ends of every single 2x2. They hit flush into the top of that last rafter on both sides. Simple little detail, but I think it really looks awesome. Of course, here we've got the cocktail rail. We always do this because, you know, imagine we're entertaining right now. You know, people are just gonna be hanging out here. Me and Pat are just having a little conversation. I got a little, you know, a brewski or a soda, or, you know, a pop, or a little road soda, a little cocktail, or, you know, mojito, or a, or a hot dog, or a hamburger, you know, an orange juice, a mimosa, bottomless mimosas here, maybe a protein shake, maybe a smoothie, maybe one of those green drinks, maybe a, that's it for this project. It's a total wrap, so check out these drone pictures. Please hit subscribe, please hit subscribe, please hit subscribe.
Please hit subscribe.
Stay tuned for our next project, and until next time, this is Premier Outdoor Living.